Hi, this is Margaret Maloney, and welcome to the Death Dhamma Podcast. In a series I used to read, occasionally one character would say to the other, "May you live in interesting times." It was understood that this was a curse, where interesting times meant chaos and difficulty. Well, we do live in interesting times. I mean, don't we always? So this season, together we will explore equanimity and chaos, recognizing that many aspects of life are beyond our control. Let's find a sense of balance and peace amid external chaos. Hi, everyone. Today, I'm bringing you a sutta for you to contemplate throughout your week. And I think that you will see what it has to do with equanimity. And if you don't, then like I said, it's something to think about during this week. But it is the Lokavipati Sutta, the failings of the world. And in it are discussed what we call the vicissitudes. So, and this is Angutta Nikara 8.6. Monks. These 8 worldly conditions spin after the world, and the world spins after these 8 worldly conditions. Which 8? So this is the vicissitudes. Gain and loss, status and disgrace, censure and praise, pleasure and pain. So you could almost see how we might think of these in pairs, right? These are the 8 worldly conditions that spin after the world, and the world spins after these 8 worldly conditions. For an uninstructed run-of-the-mill person, that's me, there arise gain, loss, status, disgrace, censure, praise, pleasure, and pain. For a well-instructed disciple of the Noble One, goals for me and many of us, for a well-instructed disciple of the Noble One, there also arise gain, loss, status, disgrace, censure, praise, pleasure, and pain. So what difference then? What distinction? What distinguishing factor is there between the well-instructed disciple and me, the uninstructed run-of-the-mill person? For us, Lord, the teachings have the Blessed One as their root, their guide, and their arbiter. It would be good if the Blessed One himself would explicate the meaning of this statement. In other words, teach it to us, explain it to us. Having heard it from the Blessed One, the monks will remember it. In that case, monks, listen and pay close attention, I will speak. As you say, Lord, the monks responded. The Blessed One said, gain arises for an uninstructed, run-of-the-mill person. He does not reflect gain has arisen for me. It is inconstant, stressful, and subject to change. He does not discern it as it actually is. Loss arises and status arises, disgrace arises, censure, praise, pleasure arises, pain arises. He doesn't reflect pain has arisen for me. It is inconstant, stressful, and subject to change. He does not discern it as it actually is. So for all 8, basically, some of us see this arising and don't recognize it as, impermanent, basically, right? We don't recognize it as impermanent. His mind remains consumed with the gain. His mind remains consumed with the loss, with the status, or the disgrace, or the censure, or the praise, or the pleasure. His mind, or her mind, right, remains consumed with the pain. He, or she, welcomes the arisen gain and rebels against the arisen loss. Welcomes the arisen status and rebels against the arisen disgrace. Welcomes the arisen praise and rebels against the arisen censure, welcomes the arisen pleasure, and rebels against the arisen pain. As he is thus engaged in welcoming and rebelling, he is not released from birth, aging, or death, from sorrows, lamentations, pains, distress, or despairs. He is not released, I tell you, from suffering and stress. Now gain arises for a well-instructed disciple of the Noble Ones. He reflects, gain has arisen for me, but it is inconstant, stressful, and subject to change. He discerns it as it actually is. So the same with loss or status or disgrace or censure, praise, pleasure, pain. Pain arises, he reflects, pain has arisen for me. It is inconstant, stressful, and subject to change. He discerns it as it actually is. His mind does not remain consumed with the gain or the loss or the status, the disgrace, the censure, the praise, the pleasure. His mind does not remain consumed with the pain. He does not welcome the gain or rebel against the loss. He doesn't welcome the status or rebel against the disgrace. The same with, he doesn't welcome the praise or rebel against the censure. He does not welcome the pleasure or rebel against the pain, thus abandoning, welcoming, and rebelling. He is released from birth, aging, and death, from sorrow, lamentation, pain, distresses, and despairs. He is released from suffering and stress. This is the difference. This the distinction. This the distinguishing factor between the well-instructed disciple of the noble ones, an uninstructed run-of-the-mill person. Again, yep, I feel that. So gain and loss, status, disgrace, censure and praise, pleasure and pain. These conditions among human beings are inconstant, impermanent, subject to change. Knowing this, the wise person, mindful, ponders these changing conditions. Desirable things don't charm the mind. Undesirable ones bring no resistance. His welcoming and rebelling are scattered, gone to their end, do not exist. Knowing the dustless, sorrowless state he discerns rightly has gone beyond coming to the future shore. Some reminders of, things that we perceive as good or bad, right? So these 8 vicissitudes, which some we perceive as good, some we perceive as bad. The best way to perceive them at all is inconstant, stressful, and subject to change, no matter what they are. And in that embedded, obviously, our recognition of impermanence. But I do believe that it would be equanimity also that would help me view something that arises like, pain or gain or praise or censure, and to be able to view that with the correct view of inconstant and, resulting in stress. I think that it is equanimity that could help me. What do you think? You've been listening to the Death Dhamma Podcast with your host, Margaret Maloney. Thank you so much for being here. Come find me on margaretmaloney.com, margaretmeloni.com. And until we meet again, may you be well, may you be happy, may you be at ease, and may you be free from suffering. Bye for now.